I'm Rain,
I'm Iya.
I'm Mads.
I'm Lexi.
and today we're gonna talk about the painting of
Estrella.
Estrella.
Put this painting here.
Estrella.
Why do we choose this painting among everything else?
For me, I feel like it's because the eyes captivated me again, and like the size of the painting, it's so big. So if you compare it to the other paintings presented by Mom, I feel like it has the one with the most focus on the subject.
It's very
For me, it's also because of the subject's eyes. When I look at it, it kind of reminds me of the phrase, eyes is the... Wait,
window
eyes
to the
is...
soul.
Yeah,
The window
eyes-
to the soul.
Yeah. It kind of speaks something like, it wants to say something to me, so I picked it.
Oh, okay. So
Additionally, like the color scheme of it is so bizarre because like you barely see paintings with the yellow and the red color in it.
Kind of similar, it uses warm colors,
Yeah.
right? Like red, orange, and something like brown.
Yeah, and even black, like a little hints of black. So
There's a little brush
strokes.
stroke of blue.
Oh, yeah. I feel like it's from the eyes, diba? You can see it from the
Oh.
eyes. Like, I feel like the girl is crying. That's what the painting is trying to depict.
oh, okay.
What do you think the painting is making you see?
I feel like, just like what everyone say, na our perspective or like our beliefs affect how we see an artwork. So, for me, I don't know, I feel like it's kind of like a girl on a prostitute since Estrella means star.
Mm. So parang it's like okay. So what I thought is that Australia is like so it means star, right? So I was thinking like the attention is all focused on her, but she's reaching out to the viewer as if she's asking help from the viewer. That's what I was thinking.
But considering that Estrella means star in Spanish, parang it provides a contradicting idea since when I first look at the painting, I see like it shows sorrow and despair. But
Yeah.
it kind of like comforting to my side.
Oh, okay, got it. Um, so for the painting, for you guys, personally, do you have any like personal feelings or like any thoughts you want to share about the painting that resonated with you specifically? Like, oh, you don't have to answer this question, but like, if it's too personal for you, but like, do you personally have any like experiences that made you feel the same way that the painting did?
I feel like looking at the perspective of her like interpretation of the artwork, I feel like it makes sense na you're a star but somehow you're trying to be like you're losing yourself while being a star, because if you can see naman her name is Estrella but the painting is
Contradicting in like a very like a very like a very disturbing sense.
Yeah, very disturbing
It's disturbing.
For me, when I first look at the painting, I chose it because it's a woman. So,
okay.
doing an analysis, it makes me think na I can do a deeper analysis since we may share similar characteristics. Like, through her eyes, you can sense a sense of
connection.
connection and vulnerability.
Oh.
So, when I look at her eyes, it shows the human nature that can that is wait, how do you say that? Like it shows how humans weaknesses.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I see that.
Oh,
But-
that makes so much sense though. Like,
Yeah, di ba?
like yeah, go on.
And also looking at the background of the author or like the artist, if you see her personal life suffering with a cancer, you know that like it's like helping, asking for help.
Yeah.
Oh, so it shows also resilience,
Yeah.
right?
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true. Like resilience to like the face of like all these adversities, like
Yeah.
surviving cancer, going through like, or something as like not as morbid, but like, you know, going through a heartbreak, or you know, losing somebody you love, right? So I think that's like also a very reoccurring theme with Almonte's paintings, where they capture the most vulnerable moments of a human's life, but also it doesn't really show it in like such a way that like provides shock value, like, oh, look at this, it's very shocking and it's disturbing. Like, it's not showing it for the sake of it being disturbing, it's showing it to like say something about it, like say something that like, oh, it's okay if you experience these things, like if you come out alive at the end of the day, that's like that's what matters, right? So yeah,
I was also intrigued by how the subject is maintaining her composure despite the chaotic brushstrokes around her background.
But at the same time, she has little tears, so you know na she's suffering despite that.
Yeah. I also
despite that
noticed how her mouth was tightly shut.
Oh yeah.
oh, it's like she doesn't have a voice, but she can still speak
Yeah,
through
through
your
her
eyes.
eyes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Okay, that was really interesting. Okay, so we briefly touched on like the possible meaning of the artwork, and while it's subjective in its entirety, I think the thing about like prostitution and like trafficking and stuff like that, it's a very lucrative like business, right? At the end of the day, it's a business, right? But then but the thing they're selling essentially like these young girls' lives, like
Yeah.
these girls like yeah, go
If you
on.
look back to the history of the painting, which was made like 2009, there's a lot of cases of rape and
Yeah.
sex trafficking.
Ooh, I speaking of which, I did watch a lot of videos about like I did like before going into this, I watched a lot of videos about like how prevalent that is in the Philippines, but also a lot of the unplanned pregnancies that come about with like these with these cases, right? And a lot of it I know like a lot of foreign people like refer to the Philippines as a baby factory because of all these babies being pumped out by all these younger mothers. They keep getting younger and younger, and it's very concerning. And oftentimes it's by much older guys, you know, that they. So I think at the end of the day, it's all a matter of like trying to help these people help these people out, give them the proper resources to like, you know, get their life together and stuff like that. And you know, if they want to keep the baby, then like yeah. But unfortunately, for these laws, for the laws in the Philippines that like don't allow like, you know, like contraceptives, abortion, or the talk about the contraceptives is very taboo. So
Yeah, and definitely, I feel like this painting is more of like an artwork by the artist, but more on speaks on the societal issues and the feeling of being a woman in this patriarchy. Yeah,
From what I
patriarchy.
searched naman, in 2009, it's when Magna Carta for Women was given.
like it was passed.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I mainly focus on the freedom of speech of women, like the repression and limitations to what we can speak, since yeah, you said that we're in a patriarchal society.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what is expected from us
Mm-hmm.
is just limited to.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I know it's very ironic. I find it very ironic that oh. Oh, we're 9 minutes. Yay!
Oh yeah.
Okay.
But Lexi, how do we end this?
Okay, so I feel like we highlighted every points of the painting naman.
Yeah. I think the main thesis statement would be the life's fragility
Yeah.
that can bring growth and development despite adversities and limitations. What else good?
Yeah, that's it.
Place the tension between society's insistence on conformity and emotional reality hidden or otherwise brushed over by society. Now, how does reality affect the artwork? Here, Berger is vital. He argues that our context determines how we interpret art so crucially. According to Berger, what we see is often influenced by the male gaze or historical context. When I look at Almonte's painting of Estrella, my life is what shapes my interpretation. So I have been burdened with social requirements and cultural pressures to keep up appearances. The tension between golden surface and red interior speaks to me of the emotional coast trying so hard to be something I'm not truly. In other words, depending on their cultural background, people might see Australia differently, just as Berger thinks images are interpreted according to the person who is looking at them. It is not only one woman's story being told by the painting, but rather an experience for everyone who ever had to struggle between what society wants and their own true feelings hidden inside. And so, as we merge Berger's idea into Australia, the work both is shaped by our own perception and experience. The painting asks us to strip away what is really a facade and recognize the vulnerability under all of us. As Burgess says, the meaning derived from this piece will be influenced in part by our own lives, background, and can even include that larger frame through which we view world history.
Thank you
Okay,
so
guys.
much.
Thank you for
Bye.
listening to our podcast. Bye.